All right, good morning. I do not like it when I don't understand technology. There's a couple of things you press, and if I press something off to the side, I lose what I was doing. So I was going to be ready 30 seconds ago, and I had to type it up all again. All right. Also, got a haircut, so I don't look so chia petish, so I don't need a hat prior to working out. All right, it is episode 27 of the Schultzycast. Got some much needed rain yesterday. I haven't heard it this morning. I guess it looks okay today. Cajuns still ranked. Pels season ends. People are clamoring for a G5 playoff. We're also story overnight from Pete Thamel and Dan Murphy of ESPN. College sports leaders in deep talks to settle NIL antitrust case versus NCAA. It does appear that college sports is going to get more and more, quote, professional is the thing. Good morning to TJ over in Mobile. All right. Will he be going? First of all, still have not seen a Alabama Final Four hat. And will he be leading the charge when the Tigers visit the Tide in a couple of weeks? All right. That's a big series for both squads. All right. So what else do we have? It is also Penn Day. I will be at the job fair needing a job. Although in this case, it may just be looking for a part-time gig. That may be a thing. Sunbelt regular season softball is wrapping up. And tragically, late last night, I was wrapping up Lockdown Sunbelt. And it was reported an App State offensive lineman, Jack Murphy, passed away. So our condolences out to that. You know, you're wondering if it's a former player, but no, it seems to be a current player. And that is just an awful tragedy. You know, we talk about everything else that we're talking about doesn't come close to that. So we kind of bitch and moan about a lot of stuff, and then it's all quickly put in perspective when a player passes away at a program. So our condolences to App State, our condolences to his family. And that is tragic. It is tragic. Okay. Cajuns still ranked, as there's no potential good segue out of that. So we'll just move on. Cajuns baseball, they did not fall that much because of losing to HCU. They really didn't lose that much. Well, I guess they did lose a little bit in the RPI. D1 baseball has them 18. USA Today has them 19. Is that the coaches poll has them 21? Perfect Game has them 20, and Baseball America has them 22. So there is a huge difference, and we know the way polls work, right? Kind of once you get in them, it's tough to get out of them. Doesn't change the fact, where did we say they were? They were 51 following Sunday. All right. And they're still there because, again, no one's really playing. Apparently, Boston College and Creighton changed. And I guess there were some other games that, some other teams changed as of yesterday, but only really one spot. No one went up more than a couple or down a couple. All right. Let's see where Troy was like 47. Yeah, they're still 47. And that's just an enormous series coming up. Again, if you're Matt Daggs and his theory, I'm not sure how much I buy it, but you try not to get swept, which is what happened to Coastal. And we'll see how it goes this week. Again, we'll try to get probably on Lockdown Sunbelt, my guy Barry McKnight, the voice of the Trojans, and get him to preview what's been going on with Troy, because they've been playing very well. All right. They won like 5 or 6 in the Sunbelt. Let's see here. They swept Coastal. They took 2 out of 3 from Georgia State. They took 2 out of 3 from App State, swept Arkansas State. Yeah, see, they've turned things around because here Troy has turned things around. They lost 2 out of 3 to South Alabama at home. They lost 2 out of 3 to Southern Miss and Hattiesburg. They sweep Arkansas State at home. They go to App. They take 2 out of 3 from App. They lost the Friday game against Georgia State, and they've rebounded since. So You lose a 10-8 ball game at home against Georgia State, the whole weekend can go in the wrong direction. And they've bounced back, averaging more than 10 runs a game. They beat Georgia State 9-5, 10-7, beat Coastal Carolina 8-6, 11-4, and 15-3. So 19 and 19 is 38, 53. Yeah, they're averaging more than 10 runs a game. So once again, it will be the Cajuns pitching versus the bats of Troy and in that ballpark. And people say it's very fair from left field to center, and then it juts in from like someone. I think Jay Walker said that power alley is like 340, but it is a 30-foot wall. All right. TJ, we're working on the hat, and sadly, it's easier for me to come to Baton Rouge than to Tuscaloosa. That's because it's a straight 3-hour shot to get to BR, and going from Mobile to Tuscaloosa is a pain in the backside. Also, there may be, although LSU's got a bigger stadium, I think, and more people attend, tickets may be a little bit easier. Although that doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense. All right, so the Cajuns still ranked, and looking forward to this weekend against Troy. We got softball Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, I'm not happy about missing the potential softball regional. Planned. What can you do? My nephew, the Samo, graduating high school. Plus, we're going to Louisville, so may or may not come back with some bourbon. It is disappointing. You know what? I'm going to lose power here. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. So if the Cajun softball team does host, unfortunately, we'll miss the whole kit and caboodle, leaving on a Friday, not coming back till Tuesday. Again, it is PJ Championship weekend. So tickets leaving were more expensive than the ticket, getting a flight coming back was actually more expensive than going, because I wasn't going until Friday, and most people who were going for the championship are already there. All right. It is in Valhalla, and I saw the Ryder Cup there. That would have been 2008. So I could make a phone call, but I'm not sure anybody's interested in going to the golf tournament. I did get my brother and his family, I got him passes for the last time the PGA was there. Was that Rory winning that? Like as night was falling, and they were in a suite-ish, I guess. And that was pretty cool. I don't think that's happening this year. All right. Word is, Dennis Dodd of CBS put it out that Derek Dooley with some private equity firms, also the last couple of people I'd like to trust, want to do a G5 playoff. And I think people are missing the point with a G5 playoff, because it's not about, the Cajuns or South Alabama or whoever beating Boise for a G5 championship. Woohoo. That doesn't float anybody's boat, right? We remember Oklahoma and Boise State. Don't think they're going to forget about Tulane beating Caleb Williams and USC anytime soon. They're still talking we're past 30 years of App State beating Michigan. It's not about the G5 team winning a championship, at least from my point of view. I don't know how many people think a G5 team is going to win a championship. Back in the day, this had to be 18 or 19, because I still think I was in Lafayette the first time. Dino Babers for Syracuse is saying, yeah, I don't know if I want to play off, because he's talking Syracuse. He's like, we don't have enough depth to do 3 games. We're going to lose players, and guys are going to get hurt, and we can't match up with, say, I don't know, Penn State, Michigan, and Alabama, right? We can't do that. That's Syracuse. And now we got, Josh Pate, who I'm a big fan of, trying to tell you that, his example was South Alabama and Alabama not playing the same sport, as if Vanderbilt is playing the same sport, as if, Maryland is playing the same sport, or Washington State is playing the same sport. Or Syracuse is playing the same sport. There is the haves and the have-nots, and that's always been the way it is, right? I'm not sure this is the best argument against it, but Major League Baseball, are you trying to tell me that the Oakland A's and the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing the same sport, or the Colorado Rockies and the New York Yankees are playing the same sport? Come on. Also on the pro side, not everybody's trying to win. I don't know if the secret's out with that one. But I mean, we see it all the time. It is just about making money on the pro side. Now, on the college side, it may be that way as well. Right? All the G5 guys want to get to either Power 5 jobs, the coaches, or we see a bunch of, G5 players transferring. Although, I mean, someone's going to have to come up with more examples than Jared Verse. Seeing all the successful G5 guys transferring to Power 5 schools and having serious success, because I'm pretty sure for every Jared Verse, we got a Troy Amos who, takes a little bit of money, goes to Bama, and sits on the bench when he probably could have been all Sunbelt last year. So we hope that he got NIL money. We're hoping Zion Chris got some NIL money, right? Going from, the Cajuns to Houston, wishing him all the best. Don't have any issues with him going. Hope it works out. Because I don't think there's not a whole lot of examples of it that way. Josh was talking about being on a, 8-lane highway going off a cliff. It feels like they want to put the G5 on a 2-lane country road, is what it feels like to me. Somewhere along the way, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a G5 team is going to win a national championship. It's probably not going to happen. All right. You could even probably say it won't happen. But you know what will happen? One G5 team somewhere will knock off a Power 5 team in the playoff. That will happen somewhere along the way. And I don't want to hear about it if it's, injuries or whatever the case may be. That's going to happen somewhere along the way. A JMU, a Coastal, a Cajuns. Somewhere along the way, they're going to pop up. I don't know if they're going to be able to knock off the number 1 team. I guess that's who they have to play. But somewhere along the way, they'll get a matchup and they'll beat one. And that will be the G5 national championship for all intents and purposes. The other thing about this G5 thing you have to understand is, and don't kid yourself, it is all about the almighty dollar. That's all it's about. And, a general rule in life, and maybe it's taken me a long time to figure this one out, but the people who have the money do not want to share the money. It doesn't matter if you're in business, if you're in politics, or you're in sports. The people who have the money don't want to share the money. The Power 5 teams that play the G5 aren't giving $1.5 million or whatever it is for, LSU to host ULM or whatever the case may be. They're not doing that out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it for a win, period. They don't want to play another Power 5 team. There's a reason that the SEC right now only plays 8 games. Georgia went undefeated last year in the regular season. They still didn't make the playoff. They see that as a loss of revenue. So if you play too many games against each other, you're going to knock each other off. On the low end, you want to make sure you have enough potential wins to make a bowl game. So if you win 6 or 7 games, you can still tell the donors and whomever you still had a successful season. That's all about the money. And they don't want to share it. So, I mean, what does it really matter if you get maybe the SEC is a bad example, because you can absolutely have a Georgia, Bama, and LSU all deserve to go to a playoff, right? What I would not want to see, and I know people are going to say the same thing, we don't want to see some, G5 squad in there. I don't need to see a middling Big Ten team that's not really any good, right? Like a Wisconsin that goes 10-2, but gets embarrassed by, I don't know, Ohio State and Michigan, but beat up on the Indianas and the Illinois of the world. And all of a sudden, now they're playing a G5 squad and they come up short. Or they get embarrassed playing a Power 5 school, Just let the G5 school compete. Is anybody telling anybody that a G5 school is going to win a national championship? Although, you don't have to go too far back. And I'm sure it's an anomaly. Is that right? Coastal Carolina, Big South, baby. Right before they joined the Sun Belt. National championship. I forget, where did they do that? Where did they go to win a super regional? Oh, that's right, Baton Rouge. They took down Alex Lang and Jared Poche, the all-time winningest pitcher in LSU history, by the way. They didn't win, 2 out of 3. They took both games. Well, they won 2 out of 3, but there was no third game. LSU's playing that at home. Then they took down TCU, Texas Tech, and Florida. And then they took down Arizona. Power 5, Power 5, Power 5, Power 5. So, that's not that long ago, although we're working on a decade. And then we had Florida, FAU, Florida Atlantic, and San Diego State get to the Final Four last year. Now, San Diego State did get hammered by UConn, but everybody gets hammered by UConn. Right? I mean, so that's not embarrassing. But you don't think that FAU getting to the Final Four and San Diego State playing in a national championship? That's ridiculous. I can tell you when Syracuse was playing a national championship in 96, Syracuse, all right? A decade earlier, they lost to Indiana. Now they're playing Kentucky, and it made no sense to me at all because Kentucky's beating everybody by 20, and I don't know how Syracuse got here, right? A little bit lucky with the matchups because UMass played Kentucky, and Syracuse got Mississippi State in the Final Four. But they had like a last-second shot against Georgia that on one of those sideline plays, they had 2 last-second shots, right? They got a 3 by Jason Cipolla. John Wallace threw it in. It may have been 5.5 seconds to get it in. Like the referee was like, we're not going to blow the whistle on 5 seconds, but if it gets to 6, we will. And then Wallace hit a game-winning shot. And then I think Jared Haas for Kansas. I think it was Jared Haas. I think he had the flu. He had a bad ball game. He couldn't hit a shot. But nonetheless, that Florida Atlantic's never going to forget going to the Final Four. Did they win a championship? No. Does it matter to anybody else? Probably not. It matters to them. Heck, Florida State is trying to make rings out of going 13-0 and not getting to the playoff. No. Yeah, I'm all for, I don't want a G5 playoff. I want a chance to compete, and somewhere along the way, that's going to be, they'll knock off a Power 5 team. Are they going to win 3 ball games? Probably not. Are they going to eke out a 1-point or, 3-point victory in 1 week and get blown out by 30 the next? Probably. Don't care. Don't care. Right? Think about all the blowouts we've had, anyway, right? Alabama blows out a lot of people. Go check out that Clemson-Alabama championship game, the 201, the Trevor Lawrence versus 201. That didn't go Alabama's way. So, it'd be nice if they were close ball games, but I don't necessarily need that. They just want the chance to compete. They really do. And give them the chance to compete. But otherwise, don't confuse anything. It's just about the dollars. That's all it is. It's about the money. All right, what else do we got? Oh, the Pelicans end up falling short, and boy, did they had a game. And I mean, Brandon Ingram was just awful in the playoffs. Do we need to go through his game by game? Did he have one good game? I mean, I don't think he did. Like, at all. Like, they were embarrassingly bad. He's now, this is the worst I've ever been, and I'm motivated. Yeah, Are you motivated because you played bad, or are you motivated to get the contract? This was, well, that there should be 6 games, right? Where is the play-in tournament? Where I don't see. Oh, here's the play-in tournament. Okay. First game against the Lakers, where he didn't play at the end. 4-12, 11 points. We don't have the minus. He did have a big ball game, 24 points against Sacramento. That got him into the playoffs. So went 10-20, and they beat Sacramento 105-98. All right, so he had 24 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. All right, that's a pretty good game. All right, that is admittedly a pretty good game. Now, let's see what he did against Oklahoma City. Game 1, 5 of 17, 12 points. Game 2, 5 of 10, 18 points. Game 3, 7 of 14, 19 points. And last night, with the season on the line, 2 for 14, 8 points. He was a grand total of 2 of 8 from three-point land. And those were both in Saturday's game. Again, this series didn't change, but it may have gone 5 or 6. Well, it would have gone at least 5. But you would have put the more pressure on Oklahoma City if you stole that first game. If you steal that first game, now they're thinking about it. Now the pressure's on them. They haven't been in that situation. They eked out a win and move on, and now they relaxed, and they played much better, through a game 2 and game 3, which were not close, and then they closed out ball games that were close. So a great experience for Oklahoma City, but if the Pelicans could have won game 1, they would have, now all we got to do is we're coming back to Oklahoma City. And all you got to win is 1 in game 2, win 1 at home. And, well, now we're coming back here, and now we have a chance to force a 7th game. But I think they're going to break it up. I think Brandon Ingram's going to go hasta la bye-bye. Wish him all the best. I would not give him the max. Other people are like, well, maybe he'll take less. I don't know why they would if he can get the max. We'll see. But I guess there's a whole, the NBA, I love the NBA offseason. The drama of the NBA offseason is awesome. We got LeBron James. Is he coming back? Is he going to go play with his son? His son's not an NBA player. So now you're going to get LeBron for a year to play with his son, which is a cool story, except his son. Oh, man. Can you imagine, I would think, how embarrassed the other players are going to make him out to be? It's going to be embarrassing. Is he going to play? I don't know. So we'll see how all that plays out. And I feel bad for his son because, and we'll see. He's declared for the draft, but he could still transfer. We'll see how it works out. It's a nice story, but I don't think his son belongs in the NBA. Period. End of story. If you want to bring him in to get LeBron, okay. But we'll see how much he's on the court. And, is the thing. But apparently with all the luxury tax, thought I heard someone say that the Suns had over $100 million in luxury tax. Ouch. And they're kind of stuck with that. I haven't quite gotten into the playoffs yet. The Knicks aren't the Knicks really the story of the playoffs right now? Or is it how bad the Sixers are? Celtics beat the Heat last night. Porzingis is hurt, but that series is over. It's 3-1. Heat gave everybody a little bit of hope that they could take down the Celtics. Lakers are done. They lose to the Nuggets in what was a good game. I'm still convinced, and I have no idea how I'm going to confirm this. I still believe Michael Malone went to my junior high for a week. How am I ever going to confirm that without actually asking Michael Malone? All I remember is that his name was Mike, and his father, Brendan Malone, his father just passed away and was an assistant on the Syracuse basketball team. So all I thought about is, well, this kid's going to hook me up with free tickets, which he never did and never became that close of friends. But I just remember that he was in my junior high. So I have no idea how I'll ever be able to confirm that. But the Nuggets won. I mean, I think the Nuggets and the Celtics are going to be in the NBA Finals, I think. Or are the Knicks going to knock off the Celtics? You do have the drama with the Bucks. You got the Knicks with a chance to beat the Sixers tonight. That's probably what's going to happen. Cavs and Magic. I don't know if anybody cares about that. That series tied at 2. And you do have the Pacers leading the banged up Bucks 3-1. And Doc Rivers has the build an excuse that Giannis was hurt and now Dame is hurt. So we'll see. Not sure he's the guy for that gig. It hasn't really gone their way. Also, remember the whole controversy with LSU women's basketball team? Because the timing of, the Kim Mulkey story. Remember that? And the timing is to come out during the NCAA tournament. And I guess it came out, the story come out, was it in between? I think it was heading to the Final Four. Yeah. Because it came out before, or maybe it was in between, maybe it was Sweet 16 weekend. Well, it had to come out before the Final Four. So it was Sweet 16 weekend. All right. That's when the story came out. But it was like, oh, the timing of this, the timing of that. You don't think that's a thing? Aren't we getting this LA Clippers movie clipped? Movie with Ed O'Neill being Donald Sterling. I'm looking forward to that. FX. That's going to be a series. Although I'm sure I'm buying Lawrence Fishburne as Doc. We couldn't have got Jamie Foxx because he does a really good Doc Rivers. It doesn't appear that Lawrence Fishburne, who I'm a big fan of, is trying to imitate Doc Rivers' voice. So, but I remember I was in New Orleans for all of that stuff when it came down. I just was down there for what? Why would I have been in New Orleans for the weekend? In June? Or in April and May? I don't know. But I was in New Orleans. I don't know. It's a good question. But I just remember, were they going to play? And I don't know how much we're going to find out in this movie, but I'm sure we'll get some, what would you say? People will be interviewed, about the story and the movie and how close the Clippers were to not playing the game. And the Warriors, I believe, left it up to the Clippers. And remember, they took off their sweatsuits or their warm-up jackets and just put them on the floor mid-court. That was their entire protest. And I'm pretty sure the story is Adam Silver asked Doc Rivers, give me 48 to 72 hours before you make a decision. And that's when Adam Silver banned Donald Sterling. Talk about an investigation, right? I mean, it's not that difficult. And when they want to investigate, they get it done really quickly. And so Adam Silver did that, and that saved the series. Because, again, Golden State kind of told the Clippers, hey, whatever you guys want to do, we're in. If you don't want to play, we won't play. So we'll find out more about that. But don't think that timing isn't coming out. This is coming out just in time for the finals or the Western Conference finals, right? Finals usually end around Father's Day. So you got to go about 10 days before that. So this is coming out the beginning of June. Clippers could be in the Western Conference finals when this movie comes out. That's the timing. All right. That is done intentionally. Right? I don't know about the world, but a lot of the focus is on the NBA right at that time, and they're going to take complete advantage of it. Not to mention, they are going to promote it for a month. More so. Now, I'm looking forward to that. All right, I think we went a little bit long. Oh, today is Pen Day. It is the Lita job fair, which, again, I got some things going on. Thank goodness. I don't know when that'll be wrapped up, But if one thing happens, I need a part-time gig where I don't have to bring it home with me. I mean, some data entry, I don't care if I'm answering the phones, whatever the case may be. Heck, we could go all Keon Coleman. Mace's got a job opening. I'll go just hang close, right? As long as it pays okay. I'm not expecting to make a fortune doing that, but I want to have a job. I don't want a challenging part-time gig, right? Do the job well, work hard there, and just not bring it home with me. Not have to worry about following up or anything along those lines like you may do with your full-time job. So we'll go there, but it's also pen day. I will come home with 100, 150 pens and the little candies that they hand out. Can't eat the candies until tonight. So today is the last day of Passover. I did put on a little bit of weight. I finished off. I had matzo pizza, right? You put the tomato sauce on and then mozzarella. So that didn't go over well. So, and we're going to Orange Theory here. So we'll see where we are. And if I don't blow it, meaning go out and get a real pizza tonight, we'll see where we are. We were 210 before it. I'm probably about 214. Saturday, I thought I weighed in, or Sunday, I weighed in at like 212. So that's not awful. We'll see. I think it really just been carbs. I may have had an extra slice of pizza. We got matzo ball soup, so I can have that for lunch. So we'll finish that off. That was a treat from Mama Schultz. All right, let's get going again. No midweek game for the Cajuns. NBA season is over for New Orleans. The reason I love the NBA offseason is because it happens really fast. It is April 30th. And so we're going to have to deal with not knowing what's going to happen in less than 2 months. The draft happens a week to 10 days after the NBA Finals is over. Maybe less. And then NBA free agency starts. I'd love to see if maybe we ask Jay Billis or the NBA, why do they do it backwards? Why do we have the draft first and then free agency? Right? Whereas the NFL does it the other way. Free agency starts about a month after the Super Bowl, and then the draft is a couple of months after months after that. Well, maybe 6 weeks after that. But at least, you know what you're going to fill in with the draft and what you may have missed out on free agency. NBA does it the other way around, which, again, it's all NBA Finals, NBA draft, free agency, all within 2 weeks. And I love it. And we'll see what the Pelicans do because, again, teams like Oklahoma City, right past them. Denver, right past them. Although that's been for a couple years. Who else? And San Antonio is going to go right past them. Watch how quickly San Antonio gets better. You don't think you're going to get some guys that want to play with Wemby? I think you are. So I think the Pelicans got to start again. I'd still like to see Zion lose, 10 pounds. I'd rather see him 255. I'm not even, 255, 260 than 265, 275. I mean, he could, even if can you imagine if he's lost 25 pounds and he's still 285, like he was 310? God, it's brutal. So, you'd say that injury was a fluke, but he's always injured. So that's not great. All right, everybody have a great day. 39 people tuning in this morning. Again, I got to do a little Google search, seeing if that's all together now. We had a good 60 yesterday. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Tuesday. If you see me at the job fair, say hello. And we'll talk to you again on a Wednesday morning. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.